Guys, thanks so much for coming out. As always, we appreciate all that you do covering our program. Great opportunity this week to go against South Florida, a team that beat us here a year ago. Really impressed by what I saw of Coach Holtz's team. On offense, they're scoring 33 points a game. They're rushing the ball for over 200 yards a game. And, I don't know if we've seen a team that has 470 yards total offense a game, and these guys do. Very strong physical offensive line. They're getting the ball to multiple receivers right now. B.J. Daniels obviously is a dual threat at quarterback, an excellent runner, and making good decisions with the football. And we're expecting Scott to be back, and he'll be as good as any running back that we've seen. On defense, when you turn on the tape, it looks up front, certainly in the front seven, and most particularly in the defensive line, it looks like it did against North Carolina and Florida State for sure. Big physical defensive front. It starts inside with Grissom and McCaskill at the tackles. They play multiple guys. Really impressed by their ends, Hampton and Giddens, and then Davis comes in a lot on the nickel. So very active defense, 22 points a game, and going to be a great challenge for us. Very impressed with their linebackers, Barrington and Lattimore, and very, very good in veteran secondary. So we'll have our hands full. Had a good practice this morning. Chose to just walk through yesterday just because of the physical nature of Florida State. And as always, didn't do anything Sunday. So we'll need a good practice tomorrow and then wrap it up Thursday before we head to Tampa. With that, I'll open to any questions that you have.
Al, what can you tell us about the young man who was taken off this morning? Was
it was Jordan Futch, and again, his family's been notified, but it seems like everything's fine. I think it was a case of dehydration and low sugar levels. Again, I'm not the doctor, but I'm just trying to give you an idea that everything's fine. He just felt, really weak or faint. And I think it was sneaky hot out there today, to be honest with you. I don't think we had a day like that in a couple of weeks, so I think it got sneaky hot, and certainly Jordan has been limited in his activity for the last 9 or 10 days. So I think the combination of that, we want to be safe, and from all accounts, Jordan's doing fine.
They said heat index was elevated this morning. I know you guys in camp had the rule, very regimented. I think even checking guys in to breakfast. Do those rules apply in season as well, or are guys kind of on their own when you get this late in the year?
Well, we practice at 7 a.m. on Tuesdays, so they have fruits and muscle milks and Gatorade and bagels and things of that nature, and then we don't eat breakfast till afterwards. So we eat breakfast, get in the ice tubs or get treatment and then come back and meet. So it's really incumbent on every player to make sure that they're hydrated and eating. And obviously, if they don't do that before they leave, they have a chance when they get here to eat fruit, bagels, or muscle milk or Gatorade just to make sure their equilibrium is good and they're able to go. But I think his was the case that he hadn't been doing anything for a couple weeks or 10 days.
Was his practice limited today? Yeah.
Jordan, he was just doing conditioning and stuff on his own. So.
Al, Anthony Chickalo was obviously one of the freshman leaders for you, but he says you've really been sort of talking to him about how you wanted to amp up his leadership. And can you just talk about him a little bit, maybe how he's the leader of this freshman class?
Yeah, I think he's one of the leaders. I think Philip Dorsett is going to be a leader for us, and I certainly think Dallas Crawford's going to be a leader. He's not playing for us right now, but I think he'll be a leader. There's some other really good quality kids in that class. Grimmel is that kind of kid, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody. But those are the guys that we need to step up, and we need the sophomores and juniors to step up too. It just can't just be a senior show. And I think the seniors have set a good example for us. But Chickalo has the potential to do that. He's tough and he loves football. He takes care of business. He's always in the building. He's a gym rat from that standpoint, and obviously we'd like to multiply that, and that's what we're trying to teach him.
How do you like his progress? And Coach D'Onofrio was saying maybe he had to play a little too early because of guys.
Yeah, they all had to play too early. Today was an interesting day for us. because Vernon looks like Olivier was playing a lot better in that game. He looks like he's ready to go. And Ojomo's been playing tackle now for a month, so he's doing well. Regis probably played his best game. Chicolo's been steady, and he's not a freshman anymore. And Porter's getting some reps today with Grimble over there, so that helps our strength inside, and that's the first time he's been able to do that. And Darius Smith has been steady. So we just looked a lot different today on the defensive line, and a lot more stout and a lot stronger, and we're going to have to be, because this is an excellent offensive line, and obviously their defensive line is, could be the strength of their team.
Al, I know process, of course, is very much the key here, but when a kid goes back to his hometown to play for the first time, speaking to Chicolo, do you expect this to be, him to have even a lot more reason to play well than
for us, it's another opportunity. Again, you only get so many opportunities, and this week it's South Florida. We played a good schedule, and it's another out-of-conference game, and we're playing South Florida, and we know they'll be excited about it, and we want to be equally excited about it. It's a great opportunity to play in Tampa. It's a great opportunity for our university to be on the west coast of Florida, and for Anthony, he's just got to stay focused and just take care of business.
And can you provide a little clarity to it? I know you said yesterday that Ray was back in team activities, but that Sean still may.
No, we're clear. Okay, again, I probably should have started off saying that today, but he was cleared by the athletic director yesterday. So he's in the rotation. He will not start this week, but he is in the rotation, and we'll certainly be back on special teams as well.
Now, when you have seniors nearing the end of their college career, do you have advice for them?
Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Again, I think one of the things here is that, you get in this cycle where you're always thinking ahead, or it's always about the future, and I really appreciate all that you guys do to help that. But I think at the end of the day, we want them to enjoy, this time, and not think about the NFL, and all that will take care of itself. But you're not going to get these days back, and you're not going to get these games back, and just enjoy the journey, enjoy being here in Coral Gables at the University of Miami, and every time you meet, or every time you're in the locker room, or every time you go get something to eat on campus, and enjoy those moments, because when it's gone forever. And I remember Ed Reed talking to us before the Maryland game, and he said it, so eloquently, just how he didn't want to leave. He never wanted to leave, and that's why he didn't come out early. And but for him, it was even after his senior year, and after they had won a championship, he didn't want to leave.
Al, can you talk about, you mentioned Ojomo a couple minutes ago, how he's played since he made the move, and how difficult, especially in season, for a kid that's never played the position, for him to make that move?
Difficult. Really proud of him. George, really an example of what we want here in terms of being unselfish and doing what's best for the team. But I think he's embraced it. I think you would all say he's been fairly effective in there. He's done a nice job for us, and he's started on the nickel as well. And I think so it gives us a little bit more speed inside. While he's strong, and he's over 270 pounds now. So I think that's the direction he's going. He's starting to become a harder player inside and hold the point better. So again, he's. It's difficult to do in the season, though. To answer your question, it is really difficult to do it. So we appreciate what he's doing for us there.
Coach, they're pretty balanced run pass. They also, I think it's thrown to 13 or 14 different receivers this year, maybe more. But just talk about the challenges their offense kind of presents.
Yeah, well, again, they're balanced, and not only do they have an excellent running back. Again, whoever's in the game is going to be an excellent running back. Murray and Scott are both, veteran running backs, and have done a great job. But the key is Daniels. I mean, he's he can throw the ball effectively, and as you said, he's spread it around to multiple receivers. But the way he runs the ball, and he's big. Don't underestimate his size. I mean, he's a big, strong kid, and he's had a lot of success running the ball. So, that's the challenge for us, to be honest with you, is, the reason they have 470 yards is because, he's throwing for 250 a game. He's running for his share, and the guys behind him are getting what they need. So it's a really it's probably the most balanced attack. You could make a case since K-State, probably.
Is it easier to get your message across because you faced the Logan Thomases and the the Con Kleins and the EJ Manuels of the world so far this season?
Yeah, the former two we didn't really stop, and the latter we slowed down. So this guy is another good one. I mean, this guy's good and he's big. He's not 6'5", but he's if you look at him, man, he's stout, he's strong and explosive and can run you over. So I don't think there's any question that they got our attention and he's got our attention, and he's the guy who makes it all go for him.
Coach, you think the defense with these last 2 games has really turned the corner?
I hate to say turn the corner. I mean, I think we're getting better, we're improving, but every week's a new challenge, So this will be a big challenge for us. We had a very pass-oriented offense that was playing really well in Duke. That came in here and we played really well. I think we got 2 turnovers that game. I thought we played really well last week. We're strong in the sudden change situations. When we fumble a punt or we fumble, I thought our kids came in and played hard. I thought we were strong in the red zone. Certainly got off the field on 3rd down. We just didn't take the ball away. So again, this is another challenge. This is a very balanced attack, and as I said, it's a 3-prong attack. It's not, the kid from Kansas State was running the ball very effectively, and it was either him or the running back that was getting it. They weren't passing as much. Maybe play action naked game. This is really a balanced 3-prong attack. They have really good running backs. The quarterback can beat you, and the quarterback can get the ball into the hands of the playmakers on the perimeter.
Al, is there anything extra on this game to just becoming bowl eligible? Does that mean anything to your guys, or just?
Again, to me, we just have to play well. We just have to prepare and play well, and everything else will take care of itself. Again, thinking about that is not going to help us prepare or find ways to stop Daniels or take care of Grissom inside on defense, on our offensive line. So again, for us, we just have to get ready for the game and let that take care of itself.
LeRon Bird Sr. has persevered this season despite underclassmen, surpassing him. How tough is that for a senior to do, and what are his attributes on and off the field?
Well, I'm really impressed with the young man because he's just gone to work every day. He's been unselfish. He's helped us on special teams, and really, you could make a case that he's playing the best of this year right now. The last 2 weeks, he's playing probably the best that he has all year for us. So he'll continue to get reps and compete. And Street's been hampered a little bit by a couple of ailments, so he's getting even more reps, and he's stepped up. So again, can't say enough about the young man's character, his devotion to the team, his decision making, his attitude. Everything's been tremendous, and we're so proud to have him on the team, and obviously love to see him finish with a flurry of success here.
Al, something we talked about before the season, the lack of turnovers, especially forced turnovers, especially in the games that you lost. Again, I think it's been maybe 1 in the 5 losses. Just talk about that, as just how frustrating that's been, or is there any rhyme or reason for it?
It is. But I think the Hurricanes were forced a lot of turnovers a year ago, right?
Yeah.
This team forced a lot of turnovers a year ago. They just turned it over, way more than we've turned it over thus far. So we're not taking it away nearly as much as we need to. And our interception count is way down. I don't know if we've had an interception yet at corner, so we need to increase our interceptions. We need to increase our strips. And then certainly when you get a game like that, maybe, we throw an interception or we put the ball on the ground. Those things in big games, they generally it'll happen. Seldom do you play a perfect game. It's hard to account for the punt play. That shouldn't have happened. There's no excuse there. But I would have liked to seen us, George, balance it out. Make a couple plays of our own or get the ball on the chances that we had to, and we really didn't do that. So it is frustrating.
I guess that's why I'm asking, because if you've lost these games by an average of 5 points. It just seems 1 turnover here or there could have made a huge difference.
I hear you. I hear you. But we're just gonna be relentless on it, George, until it turns. And we got to continue. Look, we've made a lot of progress protecting the ball. We've made a lot of progress in special teams, even though we didn't play our best on Saturday. We've made a lot of progress in penalties, and those are the things that cause you to lose games. And certainly our penalties, our turnovers, and our special teams cause us to lose that game. I think that's fair to say.
What do you know about Skip Holtz and his personality as a coach?
You know, I know Skip fairly well. I mean, we've been in the same recruiting circles for a long time. I have a lot of respect for him. Again, he and I always talk when we see each other at conventions or on the road or wherever. I love his personality as a peer. I think he's got great respect for the game. He honors the game. When you see him on the road recruiting and that thing, it's never negative or anything like that. With Skip, it's always about his product and what he's selling. And the thing that I probably admire most about him is he's kind of done it on his own. You know, he wasn't just with his father, and he's kind of gone on his own, and he built programs and made the climb up. So I have a great deal of respect for him. In terms of how he handles his team, I've never watched him conduct a practice or listen to him speak to a team, but a great deal of respect for Skip, and he knows that, and I have a lot of guys on that staff that I know as well.
You spoke highly of Stephen Morris repeatedly. What impresses you the most with him, either as a player or as a person?
The single thing that impresses me the most is arm strength. I think you can see that in the game last week, he takes the ball, and throws a bubble screen basically from the right hash to the left numbers, and Travis can be stationary, catch it, and get 12 yards, before the defense can react. That's only a product of velocity. The ball getting out there so fast that he has that much time, to get 12 yards on a first down play. So he's really been working on his touch game and his fades and things like that. But that throw there, although it's not as impressive to the TV viewer as the Duke throw that went 65 yards in the air, is really impressive if you're really honed in on velocity and spin of the ball. That was an impressive throw in the game.
How does that compare to other guys you've coached or have seen over the years?
Oh boy, strong. Again, I would yield to Jed about Matt Hasselback, but I would say right off the top of my head, I'm just talking velocity. I'm not, because you guys we're going to take what I say now and you're going to say he's a first rounder, but Matt Hasselback and Matt Schaub, he's got more arm strength than those two guys at this stage.
Going into next year, is it fair to say Steven should be the favorite to be the starting quarterback next year? I mean, obviously opening up, but
man, you've been around me enough to know that's a loaded question. The favorite is the guy who wins the job. That's the guy who will be the favorite. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I mean, there's going to be, Ryan is working hard, and we got a couple of kids coming in that they know they get an opportunity, and that's the way we recruit. And it's all about competing and learning the system, and whoever performs the best. That's it. That's what you're promised, an opportunity to compete for the starting job at Miami.
Coach, you've talked about the return teams and wanting to see improvement there. You don't have a score from those teams this year. What can you put your finger on? Has it been blocking or the decision making by the return guys, or what it's been?
That's frustrating because it's been one guy. It's been the breakdown of one guy just about every week, and it's not the same guy, which is unfortunate. So again, we're going to stay with it. We're facing a team that does a good job on special teams and returning, certainly. So for us, this is going to be a great challenge. But we expect that to be better in the return game than we are right now. And we're not bad. I don't think we're bad statistically.
Right.
We just haven't had that. We got called for a holding the other day. That would have been big. I mean, think about how many times that happened in the game the other day. We're going to be 1st and 10 on the 40, and I think we're at our 6th. And that's tough. I mean, just trying to move on.
Is it possible we might see more of Philip Dorsett as a punt returner?
Correct. You will.
We will see more of him.
You will. Yep.
Sorry, George, go ahead.
I was just say conversely, less of Travis as a punt returner.
They're competing, but if we were going to play today, Philip would be the guy. Again, you can't. Again, everybody knows this. You can't do that in the game and not have, some kind of repercussion. You just can't. You can't. We can't have that kind of decision making in a game of that magnitude. And Travis knows it. He's been communicated to, and he'll fight back. He'll compete. I know Travis will. But he's going to have to steal it from Philip now because that gave Philip an opportunity.
Aside from the actual guys that return the football, the rest of the unit, you've talked about maybe not having enough guys to really make wholesale changes.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Again, just looking at Florida State, that's the one thing that they're ahead of us on right now is their depth. And we're going to work on that. We have a big recruiting class coming in, you know that, and I think a lot of those guys coming in are going to have to play. Where we're hurt the most, Beast, is at linebacker. Those are the guys that run and strike and carry weight. They're 225, 230, and can get down there and make plays. And right now, we find ourselves protecting our linebackers because really we're sitting there at the game with 5 the other day. I'm used to carrying 10 to 12 on the road. We're sitting there with 5 or maybe 6, and that makes it hard. It makes it really hard. So we're trying to protect those guys, and we understand moving forward that we have to get that fixed. Before the next question, Chantrell right now is starting at right tackle. I wanted to make sure you're aware of that. I don't think there's any other change on the offensive line. Verning is starting at defensive end. I've already said that Porter right now is competing with Grimmel for the number 2 spot at tackle. And JoJo will continue to work at safety. Casey Rogers will be working at corner this week, as well as safety. He's been doing both for us, but he'll work at corner this week. And I think that's it, unless you guys have another question on the personnel. I just wanted to get that out of the way before we get going here.
Yeah, what happened with Casey on that play? Did he just kind of freeze?
I don't, again, I wouldn't say he froze. He didn't execute. And again, it's a hard way to learn, right?
Young guy, never really been in.
Yeah, it's a hard way to learn.
That type of situation.
And you like to, in fairness to the kid, and I know we are in a results-oriented business, but in fairness to the kid, you would like to have that exposed to him in training camp. In some scrimmage or in some game where maybe, you got such a lead that you're playing everybody and not for the first time in front of 85,000 and 4 million viewers or whatever it is. So I think he wishes he had to play back. There's 2 things that he could have done: is just run through and separate him from the ball, or just intercept it, to be quite honest. So, but to sit here and say he froze, again, I want to be fair to the young man. Again, I'm sure their coach is over there saying, now that was cover 2 and you shouldn't be throwing that ball there. And that's really 2 out of the last 3 weeks that we get beat for a touchdown in cover 2 over there, Virginia and it should not have happened. It should not have happened. What would have interception have meant to us in that situation? Would have been a big deal.
Is Jordan, I'm assuming, is not going to the game? Or
well, I want to give Jordan the opportunity to
okay.
To see what he can do moving forward here in the next 48 hours. But if I had to say his status, it would be doubtful right now.
Is he out of the hospital out?
As I speak, I don't know. Do you know, Chris? I do not know.
Chantrell just played. I know John had a couple of false starts. How much did that play into Chantrell starting, or did Chantrell just play better?
Chantrell played better in the game, and Chantrell's weight is where it should be. And Chantrell is preparing now for probably the last 7-8 days, like he has been, like he should be. Really, prior to that, it was hit or miss. And really, I think I said this about OV last week, and I'm saying it about Chantrell today. He looks different right now. He looks like the conditioning, all the things that you would normally get in training camp. It looks like he's caught up, and I'm excited to watch him play this Saturday. He's had a great attitude. He really has. And that kid loves football. One thing about Chantrell Henderson now, he loves football.
Al, as far as Chantrell, what weight is he down to?
50.
Do you
50.
feel like that time recovering from the injury really, he put in a lot of work as far as losing the weight and helped him out conditioning wise?
Beforehand, no question. I think it would have been a redshirt year if he had not gotten his weight down. He was actually down to like 41 or 42 before the surgery. And if he had not done that, this year would have been a wash. No way. And so when he started to come back, his weight started to go up again into the mid-50s, but now he's got it back to 50, and given his size and body type, we think 50 is fine for him. He doesn't need to be 40. 50 is fine. His conditioning looks better. To be honest with you, his flexibility, his ability to get out of his stance and get upright looks so much better here in the last 10 days. And I think he would tell you the same thing. I mean, as much as he wanted to play, he wasn't ready to go out there for 50 or 60 plays. And I would say this is a week now that he's. I'm excited about what he did today and what he's been doing the last 5 or 6, 7 days.
Alec, you mentioned linebacker being an area of concern. We talked about Rodgers a little bit, but who do you have as sort of the safeties for next year, and who's sort of coming along in the background behind Vaughn?
For the safeties?
Yeah.
You'd have Armstrong and Telemac, and if Casey stays at corner, you would have a Highsmith. I think Dallas Crawford obviously is going to help us. We just got a kid committed the other day that I think is going to be really good. That's going to help us. I'm missing somebody. Cornelius has been back there for us. Again, we're trying to figure out what the best spot for him is, because he's a kid who does a great job for us on special teams and can run and hit. He might end up being a will linebacker. He's over 200 pounds now, so he might be a will linebacker. So we're still trying to sort that out. But we'll be fine there moving forward.
Hal, are you guys busting up there Friday? Or
We are, yeah.